All right, good evening. We're up to chapter 61 of the Ute and Slug campaign. Everyone is here, present and accounting for, and last time you guys had continued your fight against the Countess Sansuri and her minions at Linar Mall. This was basically like the third session for this battle. It was a pretty big one. You guys were dealing with the Smiling Ones, which were this elite group of cloud giants that you'd run into before. And they were keeping Mirror, Samuel, and Serendil busy in the throne room, while also dealing with the Zalaran brothers. Those are the drow that you had encountered previously. They were hurling spell after spell at you while staying invisible, so being a general pain in the ass. Along actually with the Countess herself, who was not only invisible but also sitting around behind a globe of invulnerability. And meanwhile, Groot and Valdry were fighting down in the dungeon all these cloud giants and drow warriors to try and rescue and free the Princess Nim from where she had been shackled up. So lots of different fronts going on at the same time, and things were getting kind of hairy, but the battle did turn when your buddy Felgalos turned up. Yeah, he
crashed through the wall.
literally crashed the party, demolishing one of the windows in the process. But his blind sight, he was able to actually start pinpointing the invisible spellcasters. So that actually allowed you guys to kind of zero in on them. And that definitely turned the tide of the battle. And he got a few jibes in on the Countess as well. He wasn't too sad that he was helping take her down. So in the meantime, yeah, Groot and Valdry, you guys defeated the guards, and you did manage to release Nim. And you had one of your storm giant allies who was with you carry her to safety while you joined the rest of the party in the throne room. And then eventually you did manage to take out one of the Zalaran brothers, Tal, the quieter one. But his brother Drak escaped, not before swearing to get revenge on you guys and Felgalos for killing his brother. But he did get away. Otherwise, it really just came down to only the Countess eventually, and you guys finally managed to take her out with a disintegrate spell. She howled in fury as her ambitions crumbled into dust. So,
Just.
yeah. With her
That's
with her death, yeah, the remaining stone giants pretty much surrendered, and her brother.
Cloud giants.
I'm sorry, did I say yeah?
That'd be something if stone giants. No, we're done. We're done.
Yeah,
We surrender.
we're surrender too. We don't want what they just got. No, actually, you'd taken them out before, so yeah, that was my bad. The Cloud Giants, yes. But her brother Thulin, who had come with you guys, he assumed control over Linar Mall and pretty much immediately said, yep, we're having none of that. Both sisters, both Nim and Mirren, were freed from their chains, but they were both still under some sort of spell, and Thulin said that he had seen his sister cast something like that on other people before, and that they should likely awaken within a few hours. He also decreed that the Nightstone and all the other artifacts that were taken by his sister should be returned to their rightful owners or wherever they were taken from. The Eyes of the Dragon, which was one of which you guys had found, and the other which was taken from Iron Slug, those are both returned to you to do with, I guess, whatever you see best fit. Probably make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. Along with the primordial flask, the flask that was used to transport Megara the Dawn Titan to Iron Slag, that was also returned to you guys. Along with a few other choice magical items that the Countess would not be having any need of any longer. So you guys get some goodies out of that. You did cast a sending spell to King Hekaton, letting him know that Countess Sansuri was dead, his daughters were rescued, and basically asking, hey, what do we do now? And he responded, what else? Yeah, I actually wrote down, quote, he will come and fetch you. No, I'm sorry, we will come and fetch you. Well done, the small folk have risen exponentially in our eyes, unquote. He did not actually specify how they would arrive. And when he did not immediately appear, you guys kind of assumed that, okay, he's probably flying here via rock. So that will take some time to traverse the 465 miles from Ironslag at about 100 miles a day. It would take about 4.5 days. So you've got some time, downtime to recuperate a little bit. I know Serendil was going to scribe some of the spells from the scrolls that you guys found because they were like 5 feet wide and 12 feet long, and that was not really too portable. So otherwise, yeah, you've got some downtime now
Yay.
to do what you want. Actually, let me just
Let her hair down.
Yes.
let your hair down. I'm just going to move us over to the overland map just because I don't have a better idea of where to go. But you guys are waiting for Hecaton. Lynn Armal is, where were you? Right here.
Oh,
Ah, yeah, there we are.
Why isn't that showing up? Hang on, I have that wrong level here, I think.
I see a P there
I see a P.
by the Desserin Valley. There we go. Bing.
Yep, the
There it
label
is.
wasn't it was on the GM layer. So that's where you guys are. In that same day that you defeated the Countess, Nim and Mirren are going to wake up. So what did you guys want to do about that? How did you want to handle that?
Kill them, traitors!
Jesus. Uh, so Mirren and Nim were the traitors. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
they
should-
were Hecaton's daughters who had been
Right.
plotting with Ymrith, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you're not really sure.
Yeah.
I think we should find out
Well,
why.
We should spank them.
A
A
spank.
Yeah.
spanking, a spanking.
Spanking. Oh,
It's not the real Grail.
Bad girls.
Lift up your dress.
Anyway, after a few hours, they will be coming around. So I guess how
Well,
do you want to
so-
handle that right now? I mean, they were released from their chains, but
Yeah, seems like we should probably put some sort of chains back on them and wait for King.
Well,
Hecaton.
actually, one of them is a mouse in my pocket. Because didn't I polymorphed one of them?
yeah. How long does that last? Actually, I forgot
I
about
think
that.
an hour.
But yeah, we
Okay,
should
you-
probably
Your
not
pocket has probably ruined that.
not let them
Yeah, an
have free reign when they wake up. Just saying.
Right.
Do we have anything that or let's ask the storm giants that are with us, like, hey, do you have an idea how to keep these two constrained until King Hecaton arrives?
Well, Thulin says that. Well, I mean, those chains they do have magical effects on them. So, I mean, the only way that
Okay.
you were able to get them open was to use a knock spell. Although you could try using thieves' tools. Could have tried using thieves' tools too, but they are magical and very resistant to breaking. You actually Groot tried a couple times to break them and wasn't successful. So they should hold
Maybe
very well.
put them back. Yeah, maybe put them back in there.
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing. I
Do
mean,
we need to, though?
they were being bound by the Stone Giant Queen for a reason, I'm assuming.
You mean the Cloud Giant Queen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Cloud Giant. Sorry, the Cloud Giant Queen.
yeah. Well, Sensori was
Uh,
she was planning to use them essentially as ammunition or a power source, really, for the Nightstone. Basically,
Right.
Right.
she would have, if she would have activated the Nightstone, basically it would have consumed one of the daughters and transferred whatever her essence was, for a storm giant, that would have been essentially electricity, and then amplified it like 100-fold or more, and just essentially destroyed the whole city using electricity. But it would have consumed her in the process, so she would have been one bit of ammunition, and she would have had another one in the other daughter, and she presumably would have moved on to another city and done the same thing, or a different.
I'm
target.
assuming they weren't in on that part of the deal.
No.
Well, it wouldn't have been too
I-
self-serving to.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'm saying, I mean, I don't assume that when they wake up, they're going to, like, kill
Right.
us.
Yeah. Well, let's ask the Stone
Oh.
Giants. Hey, can you guys keep them under control if necessary?
We'll help you.
Well, there actually aren't a ton of storm cloud giants left alive in terms of the garrison here.
No, we've got 2 storm giants with us.
Yeah, the storm giants.
Yeah.
What could be done? I mean, they can watch over them, and they can at least lend you guys an air of
Right.
legitimacy. And
If they try
Well, and-
anything.
All right,
yeah.
the thing is that they also both knew that you were working with their sister, Countess Sarissa.
Mhm.
So it's not like, I mean, you had encountered and talked to them before in Maelstrom. So
right.
Sure, yeah.
it's not like your guy's going to be like, who the hell are you? They're going to know who you are
Yeah.
immediately.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, in terms of like making, if you want to ensure that they don't take off or do something like that, then yeah, you're
Right,
pretty much going to want to like restrain them. And probably the best way to do it is those chains that were.
Yeah,
being used
let's do
previously.
that just to make. Yeah, I think that would be safe.
Okay.
All right.
Lightly bind them. Lightly bind.
Well, the
them.
chains basically have a lock manacle on them, so I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're constricted necessarily. I mean, I
Right.
should say Mirren was constrained because the chains were wrapped around the Nightstone, securing her to it. But that was just
Right.
to keep her bound to it as a power source. In the dungeon, Nim was just basically shackled. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Well, let's do that until Daddy gets here.
okay, so you move them down. I'll just move them back down here, and we can have. Let me just get these dead cloud giants out of here.
Dead giants out.
Yeah, the storm
Clean up your
storm
mess.
giants can kind of keep watch here, so to speak.
Yep.
Just tossing all the dead bodies overside. People in the yard are like, "What the fuck?" Actually, you never got that far.
Look out below.
Yeah, look out.
What's going on here?
Okay, so yes, they will be there. Do you want to be around when they wake up, or be summoned when they wake up, or how do you, or you just want to let them stew when they?
I think we should all stay in there.
Yeah, I think so. Let them wake up and see us. Like, hey, we saved
Yeah.
your bacon.
Okay, so who wants to be in the room?
I'll be in the room where it happens.
I'll be in the room.
I'm in there already.
Okay, so go ahead and put yourselves in there. Whoever wants to be present.
Must have been from
Yeah,
my-
pretty much.
Okay, so we've got mirror. We've got any spell effects by this time
Where?
will have worn off too.
Wait, where are we?
In the
They're
throne
secured
room.
down here in the dungeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're
Down,
down there. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought we were in the throne room.
Oh, I
Okay,
see.
Gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
No, we were originally in the throne room. Now we're lower.
Yes,
Just in the yes. Okay, gotcha.
and
So we're in the
Towards the bottom
Where
of
the
the
bottom.
screen.
we freed them from.
yeah, the two
I gotta
sisters.
find
that's
my
what-
original Groot character. Where did I put him?
Right.
I was looking for that earlier actually too, and I couldn't find it. I could just drag one over if you need him.
Okay,
Deleted
I'll
by
just
accident.
drag. He's not a air elemental anymore. So
And Count Tholen is on the throne. I can't seem to remove this
Cycle.
circle that I put there. I don't know if it's on a map layer or whatever, but that globe of invulnerability is no longer there. Oh, and Felgalos too. He's gonna actually take his leave. First of all, he thanks you guys again for everything that you've done and for giving him a chance to exact revenge on Countess Sansuri. He now will be sleeping quite a bit easier knowing that she's out of the way, although he'll probably need to keep half an eye open out for Drakazalarin because, yeah, he wasn't too happy. But he figures he can take care of one puny drow. without a little problem.
Yes.
But he wants
Safe
to.
travels, my
Yeah.
friends.
He wishes you guys the best of luck in your endeavors and hopes that you succeed in whatever you're doing because it sounds really dangerous. And if you're going up against a blue dragon, yeah, that's a little bit more than he's.
But you're not helping?
Come on, man.
I'd like to, but I kind of like breathing, you know?
all right.
Understood. Understood.
but I will definitely check in as I can from time to time. How do I get in touch with you?
Can you do ascending?
I could probably find someone to do it for me.
That'll work.
That'll
Cool.
work, because then we can send back.
Awesome. That would work fine. All right. Well, best of luck to you all. And I'm going to go down to Yarder and assume halfling form and just drink a whole lot of beer. So we'll catch you later.
Do we? As our airship, Chuck isn't in Yarder right now, is it?
No, that was still under
No,
repair.
it
It-
sank. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, go drink a keg for us.
will do. We'll catch you later.
All right.
Later,
And
dudes.
as he leaves, he crashes through the window and
Yeah, he goes out the other window, not the one he came in. It needed to be
Blam!
symmetrical, you know? Wouldn't want the
Yeah.
castle to be off balance. So he flies off in the direction of Yarder. And not too long after that, yeah, the two sisters, well, let's see, which one would awaken first? Looks like Mirren is going to awaken first. And she kind of opens her eyes and looks around and sees, well, the first thing she sees really are the storm giants because they're the largest and most obvious creatures in the room. She looks a little bit confused at first, and then she sees you guys standing there, and her eyes kind of narrow, and she's like, and then she, kind of realizes that she's in chains still, and she says, "So, you're working with the Countess now, I see."
No, we just rescued both of you from her.
yes.
Thanks.
But
we didn't know what you're going to be like when you woke up,
And
so we
plus-
decided discretion was the better
plus-
part of that.
Pissed
Your-
off?
your- plus, your father is on his way here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not funny.
He is.
No, he is.
He is coming. He is coming.
Our father is missing.
No, he isn't.
No, we found him.
We found him. We rescued
found him.
We've been working with him for the past days. He's on his way.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. It's not a bluff check because you're not lying, but she doesn't think you're telling the truth. So,
Who's doing that?
Yeah. who's doing it?
anybody who wants to.
Anyone?
All right.
Yeah, my
And I will
persuasion
basically
sucks.
do a group roll for whomever.
Oh, yee. Yeesh.
They changed the font in Roll20, or is that just me?
They have in a few places. Yes, it's.
Ooh, a 5. Wow, I did wonderfully.
Like,
Well, the average of the group isn't too bad. So, and she actually rolled
Yeah.
pretty low. So, yeah, the kind of the smarmy look leaves her face, and she actually looks like you
Like,
mean you're
"Oh,
telling the
shit."
truth? My father is alive?
Very much so.
Where was he? Why was he gone? What happened?
Well, we'll recount the entire how we found him on the ship, how he was betrayed and drugged, and our rescue
Well-
of him. We'll give him the whole
Give it
give
a
her the whole
whole
story.
Sure.
breakdown.
All right, so you recount all the things that had happened in terms of what him being kidnapped and what have you, and she she had heard something along the lines of him being captured, but she had not heard about him being rescued. So, to that end, yeah, she's now kind of quiets down a bit. So he's coming here.
Yep, on his way from Iron Slog.
And
no,
he,
he's coming to find his other traitorous daughters.
yeah.
Ouch! God.
That she kind of
Baldry
just
gi-
like,
Baldry gives gives him the Samuel the stink eye.
yeah, I should have Samuel make every single persuasion attempt at disadvantage.
Oh hell yeah!
That's kind of innate. At that point,
He-
Nim also wakes up, and she looks up and also kind of looks around, and again, kind of the same thing. She first sees the storm giants, then she sees you guys, and sees that she's in chains, and she doesn't say anything.
So,
Hmm.
ladies, what happened?
Mirren says, "We were captured, moron."
Well, I get that, but
Yes. Was Mitheri involved in all this?
The theory
know
was
who
a
she
traitor.
is.
She
We know
betrayed
We know.
She betrayed all the storm giants.
Well, she's not because she's not a storm giant. She's an ancient blue dragon
there you
named
go.
Ymrith.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that she lied to not only you, but to my sister and myself as well.
So why your mother?
What about my mother?
Why was she killed?
She was killed by small folk.
No,
No, she
actually
wasn't.
not. Well,
Well, I would expect the small
Technically,
folk to
yeah,
deny their
but-
involvement in it, of course.
Giants, tell these two the truth.
The storm,
Because they know.
yeah, the storm giants kind of look at each other, and I mean, technically speaking, the
Or do
sisters
they want to
are their
hear?
basically their
Right.
royalty.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can wait for
Well,
your.
we'll just
You can wait for your father to
King
explain
Hekaton,
everything.
and he'll
Then
explain everything. We're cool with that.
Yeah, and that's what basically the storm giants say. Yeah, your highnesses, we feel it's best to wait for your father to arrive, and I'm sure everything will be cleared up then. That sort of thing.
Hey, and you shouldn't be so hard on small folk. Once once you've had small folk, it's hard to go back.
Oh boy, you've been hanging
Well-
around the hill giants too much.
Maybe we should just wait for him to show up. Then.
Yep,
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that
we'll let him.
Mirren says, yeah, that sounds good. And again, Nim has not said one single word. She's just watching this whole thing.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say to her,
Do those
Nim,
two need-
you've been awfully quiet during this. What do you have to say?
I have nothing to say.
Do those two need any healing done?
The sisters?
Or yeah.
They're not totally malnourished. In fact, they seem to be actually well fed. It's possibly that they would have been, the greater physical prowess that they have, the more energy that
Sure,
can be leached
yeah.
from them when they're consumed. So they're not,
Are they harmed?
or they harmed?
I mean that's right. That's
Yeah,
kind
they've
of
been
what
harmed
I'm.
at all?
No, they were not injured. They were just unconscious. They were essentially being magically
Mm.
kept unconscious and then secured so that they couldn't
Okay.
escape. So yeah, no obvious physical injuries. That
Oh
we can
darn!
see.
I thought I was going to have to get to practice my medical arts.
But yeah, I mean, if you ask, you said you were talking to Nim Thorndil. What were you saying to her?
Yes. Well, I said, so you've been awful quiet. What do you have to say?
Yeah, and she responded, "Yeah, I have nothing to say. I didn't know. I thought
Yep,
you had followed up with
nothing.
something else."
Yeah, no, I said you shouldn't be so hard on small folk. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was the whole thing. Okay, all right.
So, surely, I mean, you were.
Her name is Nim, not
you were,
Shirley.
yeah, not Shirley.
Yeah.
I'm calling her Shirley. I mean, you were duped by
Mitheri.
the theory, and your father is on the way. We're not here to harm you.
Yeah,
just-
as you-
We put our hides on the line to rescue you.
We just risked all of our lives to rescue you because the
Be-
Countess was going to burn you guys for your
Use
magical
you as
power.
ammunition.
And I'm
gonna be
sure that was the
ammunition.
only reason you did it too.
We did it because it helps you and your father.
And we want to restore
We're-
the ordning
we're-
because
we
of
want
that's
to
our
restore the
goal.
what
Right.
it's doing to the small folk.
Hey, we're the chosen ones, baby.
Yeah. Boom.
What makes you think that the ordning can be restored?
We
Well,
don't
your
know,
father
but we're
seems-
going to give it a
well,
shot, and your
give it a
father
shot.
seems to think he can.
When we're working with your father. to try and fix it. I said, hey, we already took down the the stone giants and the
Fire
hill
giants.
and Zalto the fire giants. So yeah, we got kind of a track record of kicking some ass.
Mirren says, like, she kind of sneers at you and says, people that brag as much as you do usually have a lot more to say than actually do.
Yeah, we let our actions speak for what we do, and everything we've done has been for the rest of society.
I mean, we saved your ass. I mean,
And your father wanted you saved, even though you did what you did to him.
What did we do?
He wanted you spared. You had his fucking wife killed. Your mother. What the fuck? Are you dumb?
I don't think they did it.
Well,
yeah, I think
it's
it was
it's still part of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very glad that you're not the one to decide concepts of justice in Storm Giant.
Yeah, all right, whatever. We'll
Alright.
wait till King Hekaton gets here.
Yeah, you're not our problem.
Look, we're not here to judge you.
Yeah.
And we're
came
not
to
your
rescue
problem.
you, and
Valdry,
we're not
Valdry
your-
out. Valdry's tired of listening to these nincompoops, so he's gonna go out here and wait by the door and wait for the king to arrive.
I'm gonna wait by the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they
So, but he pokes in. You just wait until your father gets here, young lady.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
okay.
I'm gonna play tic-tac-toe with Samuel.
Okay, so you two just kind of sit there occasionally making fun of them, and even Mirren.
I don't make fun of them.
No,
I try to comfort them.
No, I was
but,
kind of
you know,
assuming
yeah,
Samro.
I
Make fun
ask.
of
I
them.
say, hey. Well, I actually ask. I like, are you thirsty? Need anything to drink?
I'm not making fun of them. I'm just making snide remarks.
Well, that's what
about
I
them.
meant. Yes. They
Refreshment.
don't even Mirren doesn't really rise much more to the bait. I mean, it seems clear that you guys are just going to basically leave them to the
Mhm.
mercy of their father. So yeah, and Nim really has not said much at all. From what you can gather, I mean, Mirren seems like she's the older one. She seems very entitled
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
authoritative, whereas Nim seems much more calculating, and she just watches everything, and you can tell when she just observes everyone and files it away for later reference or use. She
Right.
does not say much at all.
All right. I try to get them something to drink so that they're not, I mean, they're tied up.
Both of them kind of do the whole pouty, not gonna touch your water type behavior.
I say, hey, I'm just trying to ease your discomfort. If that's a problem for you, I'm sorry. Not all of us small folk are bad.
So yeah, basically you're not going to get too much more out of them unless you just want to sit down there and
Sure. Let's just
be
wait then.
annoying.
I'm just
Fast-
waiting for Daddy.
Fast forward.
Okay, so, well, I'm assuming you're not going to spend your whole time there in that room. Although
I will.
You certainly can if you want to,
I
but there's lots of other cleanup being done in the castle. After all the bodies have been tossed, they
Yeah, I want to see if those drow had those dragon slaying arrows on them, or what? Those were giant slaying arrows. Remember, I traded those to the drow.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I don't. Was that? Oh, you meant down in when you were in Iron Slag and they asked
Yeah.
for. No, the warriors don't have the items that you gave them.
Okay. Damn it!
And
Now I
the-
got to kill all the drow.
Yeah, the one of the one
Oh, that's
Zalaran
right.
brother that was killed. Let me just see. He didn't.
So the drow can still peekaboo on us.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Well,
fine.
yeah,
Go
if you
ahead. I
search
dare you to
Tal's
show up
body, he's
again.
got basically his spell book. Actually, he's got innate spell casting. That's not a spell book. So he doesn't even have a spell book. He's got basically a staff. He does not seem to have anything tied specifically to you guys, so you would guess that that was Drock who was doing that.
Mm.
Otherwise, yeah, really.
Val-
He's got like
Valdry flips Drac off just as, hey, you see this? You son of a bitch. I dare you to come back and face us.
yeah, you get the impression
Damn,
he's
bro.
probably long gone. Otherwise, yeah, we already kind of did the whole inventory thing.
Right.
So you guys have kind of gotten a bunch of rewards already, but otherwise the cleanup is being done. You guys are free to stay, in the castle. It can't really move anywhere because the navigation orb is still destroyed. You guys destroyed
Right.
it.
Huh?
Yep, not going
Whoops.
anywhere.
Yeah. So from what you remember being told by what's his name? Not Zoltan.
Stalin?
No. The other cloud giant from way back at the beginning of the
The
campaign.
brother.
Oh, Zephyr.
Zephyros.
Harsh
Thank you.
Knight?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Zephyros.
When after he crashed his castle,
Zephyros,
he
yeah.
was there for weeks trying to rebuild it. So you figure the
Right.
Linar Mall is now kind of a semi-permanent fixture in this area until they get things repaired.
Right.
Um,
And this one was much bigger than that one. so-
yes, right. I mean, it's like basically a bus compared to like a little moped in
Right.
comparison. Yeah, otherwise not too much happens. If you guys want to, and you well, obviously you're able to fully heal up and everything and recharge. And
Right.
Serendil, if you want to copy any of those spells again, you can. I don't remember if I listed them off for you, but I can pull them up here quick if you want.
Let me just see. I think I might have written them down. Phantasmal Killer, there was a scroll, and Legend Lore, and Dominate Monster, Chain Lightning,
Yeah.
Animate
Dominate
Objects.
That's ringing a bell. Yep.
Yep, I did write them down,
Okay.
so I'm good.
Dominate monster.
But I can scribe those.
Yes, you can scribe those so you can cast them now from your spell book. And otherwise, yeah, not much else happens while you're waiting. So after about 4.5 days, Hekaton shows up. He's with 2 of his Storm Giant lieutenants. His first order of business when he arrives is, well, first of all, he greets you again and thanks you for everything that you've done. Without your intercession, pretty much the Countess probably would have triggered an all-out war between the humans and the giants. I mean, when you come in and destroy a city, that's pretty much, I'm declaring war. So you were able to prevent not only the destruction of Yarder, but a much bigger conflict probably that would have sucked all of giant kind into it. So basically from this point forward, he considers you guys to be, what's the word? Yutan Ven, giant friends. So by his decree, any giant now should extend to you full friendship and consider you allies.
Cool. You
Cool.
honor us. You honor us, Your Majesty.
He says, "Well, I'm humbled by you. For all of my life, I was contemptuous of the small folk, and I ignored them to my own detriment. But my wife, I was the one I should have been listening to all along, as it's very evident that at least some of you are far and above more wise and noble than a lot of giant kind that I've met in my life."
Aw, you're making me blush.
Yeah.
Thank you for the praise.
Yeah.
Were your daughters in earshot of all this?
No, he was kind of greeted
I
you as he flew up in the rocks. So
Damn it.
he says, "Yeah, speaking of that, I need to go and speak to my daughters. Where are they?
Follow, walk
Well,
this way.
Well, and
This
just
way.
so you know, we kept them chained because we weren't sure how they would react, and we wanted to ensure their safety until you arrived.
Yeah.
But we didn't harm them in any way, and we tried to make them comfortable, but they don't seem to like us.
Also, if
Just
you want to
don't-
put in a good word for Serendio, I think he's interested.
Well, and I might have a dowry, sir. No,
How
don't-
many
don't
be-
sheep
Your
in
daughters were
exchange for
clearly
one of
duped.
yours?
Your daughters were clearly duped, and I think they're coming to terms with what
Yeah.
happened. So
I think that it's best that I speak to them alone. And
sure.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, we don't need to hear that.
but I thank you for
Dad.
I thank you for rescuing them. Whatever they have done, they are still my daughters, and I need to find a way to handle what they've done in a just and
Yeah.
fair fashion. But
I'm gonna eavesdrop at the door here.
okay. Well, yeah, he's gonna go in and yeah, he sends the other two giants out. And all four of the
Oh, damn
giants kind
it.
of stand around the door.
Yeah, talk to my buddy. Hey,
I'm assuming that air elemental from Groot is not there.
yeah, boy, they're really gonna get it, aren't they?
The walls
Daughters,
shaking.
am I right? Daughters, am I right?
Yeah, from inside, it doesn't take too long before you start hearing, voices raised and shouts, recriminations, and before too long you start hearing
Lamentations.
sobbing and wailing and other things, and then gradually that kind of calms down.
Oh, Daddy!
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So after about an hour or so, Hekaton comes out. His face is like super neutral in expression. He shuts the door behind him and takes a moment to kind of collect. You can see him like visibly collecting his, emotions, so to speak.
Right.
And he says, I think it best that they remain where they are until they are brought home. And he turns to the two storm giants that came with him. And he says, I'm going to entrust them to your care. I want you to take them back to Maelstrom. Confine them to their quarters. Make sure that they do not leave. Make sure that they are taken care of. They are not persecuted in any way, but they must be there when I return, and I will deal with them then. And so, yes, that's basically they kind of fashion portable manacles of these chains that they had bound them with so that they're not
Yeah.
tied up, so to speak. But the two storm giants are going to take them on the rocks that they flew in on.
I have written down that I have something called the Banner of the Krieg Rune.
That rings a bell.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
I
But
think that was one of
I
the
have that
items that we rolled for.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
Banner of the
Gives us
Krieg.
some when it's deployed, it gives us some sort of power and stuff.
Yeah, it's a magic item. It's on D&D Beyond.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
There's a lot of different things you can do with it. You basically unfurl it, and it depends
Make
on
a hat, make a
I
brooch.
can make a hat. I can make a
A
brooch.
pterodactyl. Yes. Anyway, yeah, lots of cool stuff you can do with that one. But in the meantime, so yes, the two storm giants leave with Nim and Mirren. They eventually kind of usher past you guys. They give you, well, Mirren gives you a dirty look. Nim doesn't look at you at all, but they are kind of led in manacles onto a rock, riding double with each of these two guards. And yeah, so that basically
As they go by, I'm going to be like,
Calm Call me knight.
I'm not
Bald
going to ask
returned
you to
give
make a
Serennial
persuasion
the-
check on that.
It gives Bald return gives Serennial the stink eye now. It's like,
Hey, I'm in
dude,
good with Dad, but that's probably a bad thing. I have to start
Yeah.
arguing with his. I'll have to start arguing with her
yeah,
dad.
man.
19.
Hey, Hecaton, I got this nice banner of the Kriegrune. That's kind of a good start on my dowry here. Oh, well. In any case, Hecaton now turns to you guys and says that while you guys were storming the castle, he actually did manage to get more information about the next step, which is to take the fight to Ymrith.
Yes.
What's his highest priority right now is that he needs to recover the Corol. How the hell do you say this? The Corolnor scepter. Basically, it's the scepter that allowed you to command the Wormskill throne in Maelstrom.
Oh,
And because Ymrith took that while his daughter was on it,
That's why Sarissa's trapped.
right, she is basically petrified. She cannot move. She's aging very slowly, and she can't eat, but she's not like starving to death. But something's happening to her. I mean, you were able to send messages to her, and she could communicate in other ways.
mentally.
Right, but seems like mentally something else is happening, and he doesn't know if it's something that Ymrith is using the scepter to like drain her somehow remotely. But he needs to get that as soon as possible because that's the only way. Putting it in her hands is the only way she'll be freed from the throne at this point.
All right.
But secondarily, he wants to kill Ymrith too, obviously for everything that has been done. She was obviously behind this whole plot, regardless of what part his daughters may have been played or how
Right.
duped they were or not, or whether they had secret ambitions. It was Ymrith behind the whole thing, and for that, she needs to die. But that's what needs to happen next, and he can't be sidetracked by anything else now. So he's hoping that you guys are still game for that. And if so, he has a lead on where her lair might be.
All right. Let's go take this prehistoric bitch out.
Yeah, so because time is so short, when he departed Ironslag, he actually instructed the rest of his Cloud Giant lieutenants to take his conch that he had and go with it to the desert, to Astor, or excuse me, Ascor, the town that you guys had visited before, because that's the best lead he had. And in the meantime, before then, that's what he did when he left. Before he did that, though, he had sent a scout out to Ascor to find, what he could, because all he knew about Ascor was what you guys had related, because you had been there before, with Felgalos, and you found the treasure hoards of the two adult blue giants, blue dragons that you assumed were Ymrith's children. But that's the extent of what you had, and there wasn't anything there that looked like it might be actually Ymrith's lair, which is reputed to be some great big amphitheater. So he sent a scout out to try and find that, and they did get some information. About 2.5 days on foot travel northeast from Ascor. The scout reported that there was an immense dust storm that was many miles in diameter, and it was unnaturally fierce and kind of dome-shaped, so it wasn't a natural phenomenon. And it seemed to be pretty evident that, that's probably some sort of both defense and a concealment of Ymrith's lair, because there was nothing else for miles and miles around in the desert. But his report of his scout was cut short as he was attacked by something right after he saw it. And his last message was, "The dragons are hidden and watching." But he does know now which direction it lies from Ascor. He's got a direction and a bearing. He can't fly the rocks right up to that area because obviously it's being guarded in the air, and he wants to approach on foot because they have basically you have a better chance probably of getting past any defenses that way. Plus the rocks are kind of like work with them on mutual consent as a part of an agreement that he's not just going to waste these beautiful birds.
Right.
So the plan is he sent when he took off for Linnermall to meet up with you guys, he sent his lieutenants onto Asgore, and they took the conch. And because you guys have possession of another conch, he can use those to essentially to teleport all you guys there immediately. So
Sweet.
Cool.
you don't have to muck around with all the cross country travel yet again. So some time will be saved. But they should be in the vicinity of Asgore. Thing is, once you guys start this, it's going to be pretty much straightforward, no turning back. There aren't going to be any more supply stops. So, what do you need before?
A vacation.
I'm gonna flex
Oh,
and
boom,
say
boom.
I've got all the supplies I need right here.
What did you say? Where you need?
I'm gonna flex.
Oh, flex. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Got all the supplies I need right here.
Well, I think between good berries,
I need a long
Yeah.
rest, but that's about all I need.
Yeah.
we've
Well,
had
you guys have
days
been there for
that.
4.5
Yeah,
days.
we're out. Yeah.
Oh well,
yeah.
then
Oh, have
I'm
we?
gonna.
I,
give
I've
my
got
shit
create.
back.
I've got create.
That was pretty
Create
low on health.
water.
Yeah, as far as like keeping the desert, you guys were in the desert before. It's not any of your natural. I know, Groot, you have some abilities that allow you to forage, but you're fairly limited by, if it's a desert,
Right.
then there's nothing growing. Your abilities, I know, rely on like a lot of wildlife or berries, that sort of thing, being in the vicinity. That said, though, you guys do have good berry, and I believe you do have the ability to create water. So I think,
And I've got create food and water spell too, so I can do
Yep.
that.
okay, so you're not going to starve. The elements definitely, it's very hot there. But it's, again, it depends on whether you get caught in something like a dust storm, and then there's that whole storm that you presume you guys are going to need to enter. That could be an issue because it's at least 10 miles in diameter. So there's going to be a period where you're going to need to essentially move through that. And once you reach the whatever is at the eye of this storm, which is presumably Ymrith's lair, it's not clear what you're going to be facing up with apart from what you've heard for rumors that, Ymrith is obviously an ancient dragon. She's lived for centuries. She's a very, very powerful spellcaster. She is known for creating gargoyles of her defeated enemies. Like if an adventurer will go up against her, after she kills the adventurer, she'll turn him into basically a gargoyle statue that she can amuse her to do her bidding.
Nice.
And so there's likely many of those. And you guys remember when you went there to Asgore
Yeah,
before,
those suck.
there was that one statue that actually kind of animated as you were
Yeah.
nearby. So that seemed like that was possibly her calling card. But in terms of other minions, you're not really sure what to expect. Blue dragons are obviously lightning based, and that's going to be kind of a disadvantage to the storm giants because their
Right.
attacks are lightning based. So it's going to be, they won't be able, the storm giants won't be able to be hurt by, her lightning attacks, but you
by
guys
her
would
either,
be.
right?
So I should definitely hang on to this potion of fire resistance.
Well, that will come in real handy when you're hit by a lightning bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, super helpful.
Super.
It'll
helpful.
parch your throat when you get hit by lightning.
So yeah, a Hecaton does have these potions that he's going to give you.
Ooh.
I believe I'd mentioned them before, but it's basically a potion of giant size. Here, I can
I have like a belt full of potions right now because I never
Well,
that
use
might
come
any
in
of
handy.
them.
Your bat utility belt.
I never use any of them.
Well, you
well,
have
we're gonna need some kind of protection.
Now this is the
against-
final battle, so
We're
now's
gonna
the
need
time.
protection against elements, protection against lightning.
It's
if
gonna take
anybody
me
has.
7
Doesn't Luke
rounds
have-
to chug all these
Right.
potions.
if you've
so we'll
ever
start
played
the battle.
I was gonna say if you've ever played Elden Ring as a basically a priest spellcaster, it's like before you go into battle, you spend 2 minutes casting all these spells before you go in. So yeah, there are these potions of giant size that Hecaton's going to give to each one of you. Once you take them, it will last for 24 hours. I put a link to the D&D Beyond write-up of it to list all the what it does for you, but it won't change your type. So, I mean, while the storm giants will be immune to electricity naturally, you guys won't. You'll just have the increased size and strength and,
Right.
excuse me, durability and
Fine.
so forth. If you have protections from energy, it would definitely behoove you to use them. And once the fight is joined, it's not like you're going to get a chance to rest. Ymrith will, once you're identified, it's very unlikely she will allow you to rest in any way. So potions actually might be very useful in that regard.
So so folks can take my potion. I'm going to be probably going to be air elemental, which is immune to lightning. So that's what I'm going to do.
So I'm gonna prep up my lightning and chain lightning and
It's a good idea.
Yes, that's a wise use of the spells. Well, you don't, again, there may be other creatures there that would be susceptible to lightning, but you're not sure.
maybe.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys have a handle then on everything that you might need. I guess this is, like I said, your kind of last chance stop for civilization because you're going right there to Asgore and you're going to be appearing right at the edge of the desert. So, yeah, if there's
So
nothing
protection
else.
from energy only affects one creature. That's shitty. Oh my god.
What have I got? What have I
Yeah, and it's concentration, so it's not.
Concentration sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. I don't. Is there a protection from energy potion?
That would be useful.
Yeah, because that would free up your caster from concentrating, but it seems like it's.
So is somebody going to do Heroes
Oh.
Feast, or am I going to do Heroes Feast?
I've got protection from energy.
But it's only one character, and it's
Yeah, I
concentration.
know.
Well, I mean, there's a potion of resistance that would give you resistance to one type of damage for an hour.
That's
And-
that's
I have-
protection from energy.
Yeah, basically, it's called potion of
Yeah, I know.
resistance.
I have the potion of fire resistance. So.
Yeah, I do too. We bought a bunch. A
Yeah.
while
When
back.
we were when we were
And then
taking
never
care of
used 'em.
Zalto.
So if we get potion of lightning
Lightning
resistance, that would be beneficial.
Yeah, that would be
I
nice.
have one of poison resistance also.
Super useful too.
And I have a potion of stone giant strength.
Yeah, that one probably would be.
That actually might be somewhat useful. More useful than
Yeah, right. Yeah.
poison resistance would be.
So we are doing Heroes Feast before we go in. Everybody will be immune to poison, immune to being frightened.
Cool.
Right? So we've done this before, and it lasts all day.
Right, a 24-hour thing.
So I would be doing that. And everybody gets 2d10 extra hit points.
So that and the
Cool.
potion of giant size, again, because it's going to take a couple days to get theoretically. First, you got to find it. So it's more of a matter of when you want to drink this. Basically the day of you.
Right. Right.
Oh, right.
Right. Not when you arrive in
Yes.
Ascor, because that's still 2 days out, and who
Mhm.
knows how much longer it'll be to get to where
Correct. Right. The day of the battle.
you're at. Right.
Yeah.
If you can pinpoint it. Although Heroes Feast, I guess how if you can rest every day, is that a daily thing you can cast, Paul?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So
just
that
need the. I just need the. I bought the bowl. I need more. I need more bowls. We talked about this before. I bought a couple,
Gem encrusted bowl. Okay.
which gets consumed.
We have that in party loot.
Well,
Do you have a bunch
here's
of
the
bowls?
yeah. I guess how big the bowl. It doesn't really say what size the bowl needs to be, but if you remember the throne that you partially smashed to Linar Mall, did have a whole bunch of gemstones in it.
Right.
Thulin would be willing, if this, just because of what you did, he would be willing to donate you several of these. Several of them would be worth at least 1,000 gold. So, Paul, roll a d6. See how many he can spare in this regard.
Well, oh, we have 5
Oh, you've got
gem-encrusted
5?
bowls.
I actually have
Yeah.
4. I have 4. I used
O-
one already.
Okay, so we've got 4.
Okay.
So now I get 2 more.
Yep. So you'd get 2 more. So that would give you 6.
Yep. So at 6, I'm not going to do it until we think we're going to be near anyway. Right? Because that's a waste.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing it every day. I'm doing it the day we think we're going to fight.
Okay.
I also have a scroll of teleport. I don't know how I got that, but I got a scroll of teleport. Why do I have a scroll of teleport? I have no idea.
We found it somewhere. Yeah.
Well, I also have a 6th level spell called Word of Recall, where if I prepare a sanctuary, I can teleport 5 creatures besides me back to this sanctuary point if shit gets hairy.
Right.
Who wants my scroll of teleport? I will never use it. I'm always shape changed.
I'll take it.
You got
just in case.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
For Word of Recall, it's a sanctuary. I'm just looking at any limitations. Designate a sanctuary by casting a spell within a location, such as a temple dedicated to or strongly linked to your deity. If you attempt to cast a spell in this manner in an area that isn't dedicated to your deity, the spell has no effect. So, who's your deity again? I completely forgot.
So are
It
we flying or
is-
anything?
Well,
Like
we're
it
going to
just-
conch there.
So we're,
Yeah,
so
we're
what-
conching.
we're gonna conch there, and then we have to look around, right? It's not instantaneous, right?
Right. Well, again, once you get to Ascor, from there, Hecaton has basically a direction and bearing for you to travel.
2.5 days. Right.
on
you said?
foot.
My deity is Horus Ray, the sun god. So,
Well, then I guess every day I will take out animals out of my pack. So I'll roll 3d8 every day, and they'll travel with us. That way I don't have to worry about doing it at the beginning of combat. My bag of tricks.
Okay.
Right.
So each day, it sounds like, well, I guess you want to tell me how far out you want to do the Hero's Feast thing, but otherwise you can pretty much assume your animals would be ready to go.
But I need to do them on a daily basis. I have to. Since it's random, right? I need to.
Yeah, you'd have to see what you
Yeah,
got that day.
I have to see what I got for the day. Yep. Okay. I was thinking then if it says 2.5 days, then I would start the first full day in the desert. I would do a heroes. To me, then, if it's 2.5 days, then I can do 6 days in the desert with Heroes Feast. That's pretty
Okay.
good, right? Unless folks think I'm doing it too soon.
Well, you could always stop
Um,
too if you. I mean, worst came to worst, you could
Yeah.
cast. It's a 10-minute casting time. That's the trick, is that you can't just suddenly do it if combat starts.
Yeah.
So you kind of.
How about I wait a day and a half? I'll wait a full day and. yeah,
Okay.
well, then, yep. Anyway, okay, that's what I'm doing.
Anybody else need any other last-minute civilizational preps?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Okay. In that case, then, Hecaton will have you guys meet out in the courtyard, kind of do the whole huddle up thing around your conch, and he can use that to transport you guys to the location of his other conch, which theoretically should be in Ascor, unless you guys have a way to use ascending
I have my own conch.
to confirm. I don't think you need to.
I don't know where Ascor is. Is where?
Going to the, let me go back to the map, overland map here. You guys right
I think-
now are right here. Ascor is way the hell over here.
Okay. Oh, there's Ascor. Okay.
Yeah, again, this is where you guys went before with Felgalos to get his wacky tobacco or whatever that was. Basically, his hoard had been stolen by Ymrith's spawn, and you guys helped him get some choice items back, right from under their noses too. They never even knew you were there. But that was basically some distance away. So
I think like the last night we're there, I'd like to have, I don't know who does the sending, Valerie, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to send my dad a send that what we're about to embark on, and just in case we don't come back.
Sure. I'll do that for you, man.
send to your solicitor, last will and testament.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to send him a message, and he basically would get a reply automatically. And
Right.
his reply is short and to the point. You can do this. I've always believed in you, and I've always loved you.
Oh,
Aw. All right. Before we do this, I'm gonna go get a beer.
With Falgalos, hey, wait, I'm coming down after you.
Yeah. Yeah. I need more ice too.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Why don't we take a quick one?
Sure, we can take a quick break, and we'll pick back up when you guys transport to Ascor. So, back in a bit.
alright, see.
Okay, so we're back from our break, and the party has got themselves all geared up and ready to go. So, if you guys accompany Hecaton to the, I don't know what you call that, veranda area of Linar Mall where he arrived with the rocks. Actually, he still has his own rock. He'll send the 2 remaining storm giants back with that. You're gonna meet the other 4, I think it was 4 giants that were there. So he will transport you directly to Ascor. So the standard thing applies. You all join hands. He touches the conch, and wibbly, 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 you guys arrive in Ascor.
The wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Exactly. Not far from where you guys had visited previously in your airship. Generally, just to recap, kind of what the terrain is like during the midday temperatures in the desert can get up over 100 Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius.
Baldry's
essentially-
actually used to this kind of stuff because this is kind of how my homelands were. So
Yeah, it's considered extreme heat in terms of a condition, but you really only need to worry about it, over time. Which actually you guys will be spending time doing there, so that was the other thing. In terms of extreme heat. Other than that, it's basically featureless sand. Ascor itself is essentially a ruin. The statue that you saw when you made your exit, if you recall, to get into Ascor, you had to kind of go into this tunnel that kind of went underground for a ways and then came out. And on the entry point is where you saw that statue. That's not there anymore, which is interesting. You find interesting. Otherwise, it's exactly as you had left it previously. Let's see. Looking for the temperature is at or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. A creature exposed to the heat and without access to drinkable water must succeed in a Constitution save. So you guys, as long as you have drinkable water, you should be okay. The DC though keeps going up by 1 for each additional hour. Creatures wearing
do have-
medium or heavy armor or who are clad in heavy clothing have disadvantage on saving throw. Creatures with resistance or immunity to fire damage automatically succeed the saving throw. So, yeah,
Who's got Goodberry? Is that you, Dave?
Me.
Okay.
Yes.
yeah. So you only need to worry about the con save if you're without drinkable water. So, at this
I
point,
have 2 water skins on me. I don't know if anybody else has any.
Well, I can create food and water.
Right. We need jugs.
Yeah, wrong campaign.
wrong campaign.
Yeah.
Opposite type of climate. So you guys make your way through the ruins of Asgore in the general direction that Hecaton has indicated his scout went. And after you go through the ruins, or you come out through that tunnel and reemerge in the ruins again that you went through before, you kind of skirt around the ruins, but you keep a close eye on the sky, and it's overcast, but it's still clear enough that if those dragons that you saw before were up there, they aren't any longer. And you guys just kind of keep close to the ground and start making your way so as not to attract attention. At normal walking pace, and that's I guess the other thing is what movement rate you want to go. Hecaton, even though he's in a hurry, he's worried about his daughter. He does not suggest that you do like a forced march or anything like that, especially in the
Right.
desert. Normal walking pace would be advised. And again, there's that weird thing that giants, even though they're huge, they move the same 30 feet speed that you guys do. So it's not like you're going to fall behind. So what I'm going to do is it's going to take 2 days to travel, and we'll basically be doing a morning, afternoon, and night encounter. It's a little different than what we've done in the past. It's no longer like a 20 is bad because it's a D12. It's actually a random selection of numbers, which might mean an encounter or no encounter. And I'm just going to go on my screen left to right, starting with a random number. Dave, Mirror,
All right.
go ahead and roll a D12. This is the first day of travel. First half day of travel, I should say. Okay.
Okay.
So, you guys are traveling along, and let's get us find the right one here.
6 cheetahs.
6 cheetahs.
Attack.
No, you crest a dune, and you're hit in the face with the stench of hot rot, and you see what looks to be a field of bones stretching for hundreds of yards. Bones of elephants, lions, humanoids, camels, hyena, so on and so forth.
Damn.
Go ahead
What about
and
rabbits?
yeah, there are rabbits. Make a perception check. All of you can make a perception check.
Bam, bam.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Aren't we some perceptive people?
Yeah.
Some of us, anyway.
Well, Don, Mirror, and Tim, you guys all notice that there are thousands of red ants swarming over all these skeletons.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Run away. Run away. No
yeah.
likey.
So go ahead and make a survival check.
All Oh, great.
All of us.
Anybody,
one
yeah,
of
can.
us?
I mean, unless you don't want to.
Oh, I might be taking my inspiration early tonight.
Well, no, this is fine. It's not like you're gonna die or anything. Like it's just if you.
Oh, well, Samral
Yeah,
might.
except Kyle. Kyle might.
Kyle might die just, but that's because he's Kyle.
He might lose a leg.
Who's counting?
No, basically, yeah, everything. If you got a 10 or higher, you know that, yeah, you definitely want to avoid these red ants. And
And Samral goes,
Hey,
"Hey,
we
let me
should
look
eat
at these.
those.
Yeah, let me look at these closer.
it'll cover them a little bit of chocolate. They're going to be great.
That'd be great."
No, basically, the rest of you guys kind of restrained Samuel's enthusiasm.
Yeah, as Valdry drags him out away once again.
Yeah, Voltry, actually, you're about the only one that feels kind of bad for leaving because it's basically all these unconsecrated bodies that have been desecrated and
Right.
left here by something. You get the impression that this was probably deliberately kind of sacrilegious.
Planted.
I mean, not just as not just as like a warning, but it's not like some
Yes.
Right.
predator left his bones here. These these
Yeah.
were dumped here as a
Valdry is not happy.
yeah. As a like I scoff at your any of your customs and religion. So you guys make your way around that without disturbing the red ants. Proceeding on then to the afternoon. Next we'll give Kyle a chance. Go ahead and give a D12 roll.
D12.
2. Okay. So you've moved beyond this graveyard, but you do spot further on that there are some buzzards that appear to be picking at a single thing laying on the ground some distance off.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's that scout.
Up to you if you want to approach or keep your
Hang on a
distance.
second. I think I have a spyglass. I do.
Okay. Yeah, it's certainly close enough that you could use that and get a much clearer look at it.
Yeah.
Through the
I'll do
spyglass,
that.
you can see that they are indeed buzzards. They look to be normal buzzards as far as you can tell anyway. They're picking at what looks to be a humanoid skeleton with a much smaller skeleton laying next to it. It's hard to see even with the spyglass, but there's something that the light glints off. So like there's something reflective on the clothing that this skeleton's wearing.
All right. Maybe we can scare them off and investigate.
Up to you guys.
If they're regular birds.
Sure. How
Right.
close are we?
Right now you'd be probably maybe 500 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get closer.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
get
you guys
within
approach.
60 feet. I'll shoot Sacred Flame at him.
You get to within 60 feet. The birds don't fly off right away, but neither you can see that they like look up at you and they know that you're approaching. They don't seem especially like terrified of you, probably because they don't often see like people actually walking around in the desert.
Right.
They
yeah.
don't behave unusually in any way otherwise, though. It seems like they probably are just normal buzzards. So if you keep approaching, how close do you want to get?
I mean, we want to investigate.
Yeah, we
the
want to see
bodies.
what's glinting.
Okay, so as you get within 20 feet of them, they will take off, and then they just start kind of circling overhead.
Sure.
But they do not attack you. So you're able to approach, and it does look like it's a human skeleton. And the other smaller skeleton, make a survival check again, see if you can see if this is a child's skeleton. Oh, okay, mirror. That's a good enough roll. You can tell it's not a child's skeleton. It actually looks like a monkey's skeleton.
Oh, wow.
And
Weird.
the human skeleton has what looks to be a jeweled oil lamp on his belt.
It's Aladdin.
It's Aladdin.
Can I undo his belt and
Sure. Yeah, you reach down, nothing blows up. You're able to take the lamp off of his belt.
yeah?
It's
All right.
very dusty
should
from
I
the
mo-
sand, somewhat tarnished,
Right.
but it does have jewels on it. And you estimate that
should
it'd
I
be worth.
note that?
What's that?
How should I note it? Notate it.
Jeweled oiled lamp from Desert Skeleton. It looks like it's worth about 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
The buzzards are cawing at you.
Yeah, we move along.
Okay. If you move along, then yeah, after you get a reasonable distance away, the buzzards return to pecking at the skeletons, and otherwise nothing happens. So at this point, yeah, you are probably going to want to make camp before too long. What are you going to do for shelter? Because
Make the hut.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't know if the
Lehman's tiny
giants would
hut.
fit in the
Lehman's
hut. I didn't really talk about the giants either. I mean, it's you, it's Hecaton and
Yeah.
four other giants.
It's 9 creatures of medium size or smaller.
Yeah,
So they're huge.
yeah, they are huge. They generally
Yeah.
take up the space of like 4.
It's like, King, we don't know what you had planned for shelter.
Okay. Well, he wasn't making assumptions that you guys had this hut spell, so they brought a pack of tents and everything. I'm assuming that you guys probably would have mentioned this
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
when you were discussing things.
I also have a tent. What?
Yeah, well, again, your tent would probably
I
be
mean,
much
if-
too
if
small
we
for
have the
them to
hut,
fit into,
then
so they're
that-
not going to use that. They have their own
Yeah.
tents. They
Yeah.
will set up
Okay.
camp. You guys can
All
set
right.
up your hut, which will work well because you're able to still keep watch through that hut. I mean, you can see out,
Right.
nothing else
Yeah.
can see in.
mhm.
So they will basically kind of set up a perimeter around you in their larger tents, but they'll leave enough of
Sure.
a gap so that you guys can still look through like between them. I
Right.
guess it's up to you if you want to keep watch like on the other side of their tents. You'll have to actually have one of you be out and about and patrolling so that you can actually see beyond their tents are pretty big.
Yeah,
after they
I
right.
can imagine.
set them up, you'd actually have to walk on the outside perimeter to get a full 360 view of the desert.
Right.
So, do we want to do the Heroes Feast tonight? First night?
Might as well.
Okay, so the giants will get this too.
Okay, cool.
It's 12 creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
size, just creatures. So I will roll 2d10 and everybody gets 16 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Woohoo.
And those basically are the first to go when you take damage.
Okay.
All right. So,
And so you're immune to poison and you're immune to frightened.
Nice.
okay. So for the night, I'm just going to roll a d6 to see which of you guys is on patrol. All right. Baldry.
Okay.
For this one, yeah, we'll stick with the d12.
All right. Give you the roll. Ah, come on. Brr, 9.
Okay.
9, he says.
That is no encounter. So the night passes
Yay.
without.
I rolled goodly.
Yes, it is going to be kind of random depending on the result and the time of day. So higher does not necessarily equal better.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so you're able to pass. You're able to get a full rest, and the next day you set off on day 2 of your travels. So
Good day and welcome to day
good
2.
day. This one for the morning. Let's go ahead and go with Tim for a d12 roll.
Dun, 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 dun. 10.
10. Oh my God, not 10.
Oh, anything but 10. You're doomed. Doomed, I tells you.
All right, so you guys are walking along, and I would like each of you to make a wisdom perception check.
I have a +4 and I rolled a friggin'
Wow.
9.
Mirror, okay.
Wow, I'm not very perceptive right now either. One of those nights.
For the marching order, I have Groot at the head of the party, so to speak. Were you walking ahead of or behind the giants?
We're behind the Giants.
Okay, so the giants, then I have to see which one is at the head. Okay. Which one is that? I gotta zoom in there here. Oh, actually, that's Hekaton. Hekaton's leading the way. Okay. Hekaton is leading the way, and he is about to take a step. And Mirror, you spot where he's about to step. It looks like the sand looks different from the area around it.
All right, I yells, halt!
Okay, he stops with one of his feet in the air and kind of balances there. He's like, "What?"
I see a difference in the sand. I'd try to step back
Okay.
if you
Yeah,
can.
let's step
Yeah,
back.
he does that. He kind of like steps back and looks down, and he's like, "All right, I have no idea what you're seeing, but I'm going to let you take over from here."
Yeah. So I'll go up there and see if I can find anything.
All right. Yeah, you can see that the sand there, it looks like it's basically concealing a sinkhole. Anybody steps on it, they're basically going to it's going to be like quicksand.
Right.
So yeah, you can
Is there a way around
Yeah,
it?
it's not like
how
ubiquitous
big is-
going forward. It's just basically a very large sinkhole, probably about maybe 30 feet in diameter. So you can kind of
Okay.
trace the edges
we-
and go around it without
Yeah.
risking falling in.
Perfect.
So Hekaton
Yikes.
thanks you for basically, yeah, he probably would have
Paying
gone down like a
attention.
rock.
Not the bird.
So,
Oh no.
all right, so you make your way safely around the sinkhole and continue on your way.
The sinkhole.
The afternoon, I guess we'll go to Paul for encounter roll. D12.
Come on, man.
Niner.
Okay. And okay, this one. You guys walk through the ribs of what looks like an ancient boat.
Oh, wow.
It's been here so long that the wood is kind of petrified. It almost looks like bones. You ever seen
Yeah.
Pitch Black, the movie Pitch Black, when they're on the
Oh,
desert
yes.
planet
Right.
and they find those creatures, bones, like those huge skeletons? It's like that, except it was quite obviously a boat and not a creature. It's just
And a whale.
The
Yeah.
bones.
it's possibly there at one point in the way distant past there's perhaps some kind of a river that ran through this area, but you don't really know
River
much
of
more.
Deceit.
Okay, and then the night comes again, and you guys make your second camp. And for this one, I'll guess roll the watch order. Okay, Mirror, you are on watch. Go ahead and make a
Okay.
D12
Alright.
roll.
All right. Well, I gotta mute. My wife just got home from the fair. She brought me mini donuts.
Oh, well, that's worth pausing for.
Mm.
Well, I thought Mirror just started howling all of a sudden. Alert! Alert! Arr, arr.
3 looks like. Okay, let's see. That actually is also no encounter. So you are able to spend the night again restfully without.
3, I had a
Hooray.
9.
Oh, why did I think it was a 3?
don't
The
know.
9, actually, that's what Paul rolled. So roll again.
Okay. Come on, you can do it. 2.
2. Okay. That is also no encounter. So,
All
Okay.
right.
Hey.
Oh, they're still warm.
oh, donuts.
Oh.
I actually got deep fried donuts the other day. They had some food trucks in a park nearby. It's
Oh,
first donuts I've had since the pandemic. It's like Homer Simpson.
right.
Mommy, that man.
Okay, so the final day of your journey dawns. The sky has definitely been getting stormier and darker. Not unsurprisingly.
Do we have to cast Heroes Feast again?
Yeah, it's up to Paul if he wants to do that. I'm
Of course I do.
assuming he would.
16 again. Look at that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Consistency.
You know, change your sheet.
Well, not for that reason anyway.
Yeah.
Gross.
Randy, you got something on your mind today. I don't know. Paul, do you want to roll your animals too? I forgot.
I have.
Oh,
been.
you have been. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been seeing dice rolls. I wasn't sure. Okay, so it's basically just going to be a half day's travel. So it's going to be one more roll here. Let's see who it's going to be.
Whereabouts are we in the desert?
Yeah, let's see. I can maybe get you. I was on a different map.
Ping us or
You've traveled
we're like
out
there.
Yeah, actually, well, yeah, you're definitely not still at Luminar Mall, so you're probably like right about here-ish. Maybe not that quite
Yeah,
that far.
okay.
Like about right here, maybe. Because it's not. I mean, it's not difficult terrain, but it's not like easy walking either.
So we're heading kind of generally northerly.
Yeah, northeast.
Northeast.
Mhm.
Northeast. Okay.
Looks like the final encounter roll will go to Tim. So
There we go.
All right, no pressure.
D12. Let's see, 8. Okay. You guys come upon some sort of what looks like some sort of structure in the distance.
Ooh.
Not large, but it's kind of. It looks like it might be a hut or something jutting out of the sands that have kind of partially buried it. But it doesn't look like an adobe hut or something like you would have seen in the ruins of Ascor. It looks closer to like the ruins of the ship that you saw earlier, but not quite as old. And you catch a glimpse of what looks to be something painted red.
Ooh.
It's a warning. Get my spyglass out
It actually
again.
reminds you more. If you remember the last time you came to Ascor where the dragon hordes were, one of them was in like an overturned ship. It kind of reminds you of one of
Oh,
those,
yeah.
half
Yeah.
sticking out of the sand.
Okay.
But there's also this red aspect to it that you're not sure what that is.
Can I scout ahead stealthily and look and use my glass?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's hard to be stealthy again because you're in a desert and there really isn't much cover.
Yeah, right.
But
you know what I mean.
yes,
Well,
yes, you can use your spyglass
I mean,
to
just act like you're a tree. That's all.
Right.
spy casual. Um,
I don't know. Casual.
you look through the spyglass and it looks definitely like a ship, but different from the ships that the old ship that you saw, and different from the ones that were overturned in the Dragon's Lair. This one looks more recent, and it looks really familiar to you. And
I wonder if it's our like airship.
well, I was going to say what you see behind it, that red actually looks like it's something
Oh
flapping
no.
in the breeze.
No, not
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah, I report back. I get back to the party and said, I think that might be the airship.
No. Not Chuck.
I don't know why it would go all the way over here, but I think we should go investigate.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you guys, you don't see anything else moving in the vicinity. It's again, you know, if you
We
want.
explained to the giants what the airship was on the way.
Okay. Yeah, I think you would have probably covered that at one point in your discussions
Yeah.
with them.
Right.
But you're, how close do you want to get to this thing?
I mean, they'll see us just like we'll see them if there is anybody there.
It's
So.
a trap.
Well, I was going to ask basically, is everyone going, or just is the whole party, or is it just one of you? How are you approaching?
Mirror, you go and look all sneaky like.
I mean,
I mean, if you want me
I
to,
can
I'll go up there.
cast invisibility on you if you want to be even
Sure.
sneakier.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Yeah.
Okay. So you cast invisibility.
Yeah.
Pass without trace.
You cast.
I don't know if we need to do all those spells, but I'll take the invisibility.
Okay. All right. So Samuel casts invisibility on you. You are invisible. You do leave footprints in the sand, obviously, still, but you're able to approach
Yeah.
them sight unseen. Is there any sort of signal you want to work out to the group if you run into trouble and they won't be able to see you?
Mm.
Just scream, "Oh shit!"
Audible alarm.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll do one of Gert's like bird calls. You know, the
Okay.
type.
As there are no other buzzards or
I
anything else in the vicinity, it probably would be, unless there are birds on that ship, probably difficult to mistake.
Right.
All right, so you
Right,
approach
I'm not gonna-
invisible. You get closer. Yeah, it definitely looks like an airship, and you can definitely confirm it was the red you saw was a balloon that has been deflated, and you just basically it's mostly covered up by sand, but there's this one section that kind of flaps in the wind.
Sure.
As you get closer, you notice it's not your ship. It's older.
Shoot.
It looks like it's been
Okay.
here
Huh.
for quite a while. Not nearly as old as like the desiccated ships that you saw before,
Right. Right.
but it's been here for at least
so it,
Oh no.
years.
Oh
Okay.
no, the previous the alternate reality version of our party has been here and crashed, and
Right.
now we're messing up the timeline, man.
and it could be like from that same faction. So, does it have the markings of that faction on it?
Well, again, you received that airship as a gift from Clouth,
Right.
the Red Dragon, who is
Right.
and the basically the crew were all dragon cultists.
Right.
They don't have a sigil per se. They just
Oh, okay.
worship.
I thought maybe they did.
They just basically worship dragons, and Clouth is one of the most powerful dragons in the Forgotten Realms. He's a red dragon.
Okay.
He
So,
doesn't really have a
I
symbol
get-
per se. And you guys had the ship that you were given didn't have like any kind of name on it until
Sure,
I'm assuming
right,
you
yeah.
possibly maybe did it yourself, like you carved Chuck on the
Right.
side of it or something like that,
Right.
because it's yours. You
Probably scratched it in there.
Right.
You know, with an arrowhead.
This one does not
Um,
appear to have any markings on it that you can see. It may, again, half of it is buried,
Alright.
so you'd have to like try to excavate.
Can
it.
I crawl in anywhere?
You can.
look around?
There, you don't see any bodies or anything on the above deck that
Sure.
would
Sure.
indicate possibly what have happened here. But it has exactly the same layout as
Mm.
the
Okay,
other airship,
alright.
and in fact, I can actually move you to it if you want.
I'll walk like the perimeter of it, and then I'll head back.
Let me just get rid of the
Yeah.
cultists from here because
Right.
they're not there. Mirror, you would really be the only one. I've got all these other things from your last battle still on this map.
Sure. Yeah.
But moving Valdry and Samuel off to the side. So you could go down if you get on board.
Is it upside down or anything?
No, it's like jutting out of the sand.
So like it basically like came down and crashed.
It's if it could have happened again. The lower portion of it is below the level of the sand, so it's tough for you to say
Okay.
exactly without
Yeah.
investigating further down below. But you are able
Um,
to descend down if you want.
No, I think I'll bring everybody up first. I'll go back
Okay.
just in case there's something down in there. I don't want to just be alone. Well, I'm invisible, so yeah, I'll go in there.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and you would basically descend down either here or here.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So you move yourself down to there. Below, it's completely dark. I believe you have dark vision, do you not?
I have dark
Yeah, okay.
vision, yeah.
So you're able to see. Let's see here. The creak of old floorboards. The wood is definitely warped, which you can pretty much tell is due to the wild temperature fluctuations in the desert.
Sure, yeah.
Make a perception check.
All right. $25.
Okay, you spot a black scorpion scuttering along the floor right there. Just a normal
Okay.
sized scorpion, but it goes into one of these chambers, and
Mm-hmm.
from behind you hear the noise of something much larger moving around.
All right. I'm gonna be as quiet as I can and extricate myself.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. Okay, yes, you are completely silent, and you're able to get back out of the ship's lower level
Yeah.
without
Yep. I head back.
alerting anything.
Tell them what I saw
Okay.
and heard.
Yeah, it's tough to say what happened here or
Yeah,
what that was,
Yeah.
but
Without any light, we can't really investigate. But I don't think we need to worry about this at this point. Maybe on the way home we can look at it.
all right. All right then, unless you're going to do something else with the ship, then you can move on. And in the distance now, you can spot basically what looks to be something rising from the desert floor. The surrounding terrain has generally been flat, but you've always been able to like spot mountains in the distance, especially as you've gone further north and east. It becomes more of a kind of bottleneck between the ice mountains and then the Great Glacier off to the east. You can kind of see it far off in the distance, but much closer at hand, you do see now rising from this desert floor what looks to be an immense sandstorm, at least 10 miles in diameter, and also rising up high into the atmosphere as well.
Sure.
And kind of coming out of it is, it's kind of giving rise to these. It's making the clouds turn black around it, and there's lightning. You can see every once in a while shooting down and
Piece of cake
turning
means nothing.
the sand to glass around it. And that's kind of where your road lies. So at this point,
Baldry soils his armor and goes to change it.
so Hecaton says, we've got a few options. Storm giants do have the ability to control weather normally, but I don't think that's going to work here.
Right.
This is obviously an unnatural phenomenon, and we've got the ability to withstand, the environmental effects in there.
Winds
But I
and-
don't know about what you guys have in terms of capacity.
Yeah, probably not much.
Yeah,
You can guess.
Not much.
If we get in a dome, we don't
Yeah,
care.
I mean, you can
well,
get.
that's true. We guess
Mm.
Liam's tiny hut.
Yeah, could they carry us then?
No,
No,
it's
the hut is
immobile.
fixed in place.
Damn.
I mean, are we traveling through the storm? We won't be able to see
No,
anything.
you would, you would need to make like fairly frequent like survival checks to proceed in a consistent direction. You
What
can
if the giant lays down and
So
we
then
cast?
we just hang out in the hut and we're done, right?
no, you need to go inside
mean,
unless you
I
want
don't
to
know.
turn back and give up.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. All right.
Yeah, the storm's not coming to us.
No,
we have
it's
to
a
go through it.
stationary storm. That's the thing. It's not moving.
Yeah. It's basically guarding his lair.
What you can see, or from what you can guess from observing the storm, you would guess that inside of it, the wind speed is probably 60 miles an hour. With the difficult terrain and debris, you'd be basically about quarter your normal movement speed. Visibility is about 10 feet. Any ranged weapon attack would be at a disadvantage. And for each hour within there, you guys would need to make Constitution saves to basically to avoid breathing in all this dust and crap that's blowing around, and dexterity saves to avoid getting blinded.
um, what if? Hang
You
on.
should have retired.
Yeah. Let's see. What if I polymorphed into a giant scorpion, which has blind sight of 60 feet? You guys could ride me. um, and yeah, I guess
not a bad
I wouldn't
idea.
have, I wouldn't be worried about being lost, right?
Right.
It's not a bad idea. It might be our best bet.
Why wouldn't you worry about being lost?
I mean, it's
I like
built,
it.
It's built for a desert.
Yeah, I like
Because
it.
he's got blind sight.
Yeah. We can just hang on the back.
Oh,
you
I see
know,
what you.
and
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
you-
Right. Mm-hmm.
We'd ride on top of the giant scorpion.
But we'd still have to make the saving.
Yes,
throws,
you
I
would
think.
still need to make the saves. It's just that you'd be able to navigate even if you were blinded, and you'd still have to make the
Yeah,
con
he-
saves because the dust and shit would still be flying around.
Right.
But you would not get lost.
Would I have to do that as a giant scorpion
You would not.
still?
No. The rest of the party would, and the giants would as well.
Well, that's my option for getting at least the small folk moving along in an appropriate direction.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
giants certainly
that
would be
works.
up for that.
Well, they wouldn't. be
No,
able to ride
no,
on me.
they
No, but-
understand. The
Oh,
point
They-
is
they
that
can
they're
follow.
willing to
Oh.
brave it. So if that's
Okay. Well, I would do polymorph at that point.
Well, I
Yeah,
can
is-
polymorph as
Not-
well.
not
Is
a
there any
shape
reason
change, but
Tim
a
and I
polymorph.
couldn't become giant scorpions as well?
We could.
We have polymorph.
You could.
Yeah, because I mean, my what is it? Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are terrible for me. I'm gonna fail. I have like a 1.
Well, let's make some scorpions, and then Mirror and I will just hop on the back.
Yeah, and maybe he can do a bardic inspiration for me. before he changes.
So, sorry, Paul. Is this a new day? Do I need to roll more dice?
This
what-
is basically the third day.
So did I roll? I didn't do it on the first day, so this would be the day. Okay, yep. So I did it. So I'm guessing that the beast that I summoned would die in this. And they just, I don't know.
I mean, you don't need to
My-
summon them.
He already did.
Well, I was thinking I was summoning them at the beginning of the day every day. I said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But you
what I
did
did.
know also that this lay at the end
So-
of your journey too. So on this day that you anticipated arriving, you might have
Oh,
decided, I'm going to hold off on that. I don't know. That's
Right.
You knew that this was coming,
would have
and
done
you
that.
anticipated it would not.
I guess I didn't understand what this was. So, yep, I would
Okay,
have held
yep, that's
off. So, yep.
perfectly fair. And sorry if I didn't communicate that clearly. But yeah, this is basically an immobile, huge sandstorm that you guys will need to get through to get to Yumba's trailer.
So let's just say we do the scorpions, and there's no way that Don or Dave could not put on masks or something to help with. I mean, there's desert people all the time that survive with just putting masks on their face.
Well, yes,
right?
but this is also a sandstorm that's not natural as well. That's the thing.
Magic.
Yeah, it's a sandstorm.
Okay.
I mean, I wonder how long it's going to take to get through it.
Well, again, your
Because,
movement speed is going to be at about a quarter of its normal speed. So
Sure.
Even as a giant
the giant's
scorpion?
movement speed is going to be at a quarter of their normal speed.
Yeah,
Right,
so
yeah.
we're limited
Okay.
by the giant's movement, basically.
Right, and it's difficult terrain normally, which would be half. You would not, as a scorpion, be subject to that, but the debris and the wind would basically
Sure.
treat it as half moving for you. So the giants would be at quarter speed. You, as a scorpion, would be at half speed.
Okay, hang on a second.
Well, because
All right,
there's also
so-
a giant crocodile who can hold their breath for 30 minutes.
Does it have blind sight?
No, unfortunately.
So we had done, and I'd hate doing it already, but I could do a
I'm gonna rub that lamp.
no. No, I was thinking I could do a air elemental and just fly over the top of it, but
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, how high is this storm?
Miles?
How high up in? Oh, okay. It's like
miles.
It's
Yeah,
giant.
that isn't
okay.
gonna work.
Yeah, from what
Okay.
you can tell, again, by the
Well-
reconnaissance of the giant, and just from looking at it as you approach, it's easily 10 miles in diameter. It's not that high, but it is like a huge dome that, at least a mile up in the air.
Okay.
And again, it's not moving as far as you can tell. It seems to be fixed, which is why it is so obviously not like a normal sandstorm, because that would move, and it just seems like it would be unnatural. Your normal movement rate if your normal movement rate was 30, that would be about 3 miles an hour. So if this thing is 10 miles in diameter, you basically are going to be moving at around a mile, 1 mile an hour through this thing.
Yikes.
So to get to
Yeah,
the
that's
middle
what it
would
is.
take about at least probably 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
We have to roll every how long?
I believe it was every hour. Double check that. Yes,
Okay.
for each hour of exposure.
Okay.
But unless you guys have a way to magically put you in a
So-
specific position 5 miles away, that's what you'll need to do.
So that polymorph isn't going to work then. I didn't know if it's 4 hours in this, polymorph only lasts an hour, so that's kind of pointless.
Okay,
then.
right.
I would not waste the
Right,
spell.
But, but we've got 3 polymorphs, right? We could at least get 3 miles in if we all do it sequit.
No, we got to wait for the giant.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So no matter what,
Yep, you're right.
Nope.
Yep.
Well, the one thing I would say is that if one of you has blind sight, you could lead the others. I mean, vision is reduced to 10 feet, but you could stay within 10 feet of each other, and somebody with blind sight would be able to at least keep their direction sense.
Okay, so what I could do then is I can become a giant scorpion as a druid shape change that will last the entire day, right? And then that will have blind sight. We just need to wait. If I do that, then I can't change into an elemental. I would want to do a short rest after getting through. I would want to do a short rest then. I'd want to get back my shape change. That would be my only caveat.
Before we go in, could we make a
Before we go-
sledge that and put sides on it so it basically protects us from the elements, and have one of the giants just pull us?
That would work, and
A
they'd be
sand
willing to
skiff?
do that. It wouldn't increase your speed, and they would still be blinded.
No.
I mean, and again, blinded is it's just basically you're making a survival check to see if you go off course, if you get lost.
Well, so let's say I do the giant scorpion. I could drag something.
Yeah, but a giant
drag
scorpion
your-
isn't that big.
Can we cast the hut on
could
the
lead
giant
the
So
giant.
scorpion?
large
What about
creature.
three
You could lead
giant
the giants.
scorpions?
Well, you could be a giant scorpion, lead the giants.
Well,
we could make a sledge.
But you don't. It's
Before
always
you
for an hour.
before you decide
Right.
any further
Yeah.
along this course, I'm just thinking about this. It's not really a blind sight that would help you here. It's direction sense. It's that you don't, even though you have blind sight doesn't let you see unlimited through 10 miles of
Right.
sandstorm. It would be a
So-
wisdom survival check,
Okay.
but one person could make that check and the rest of you could follow that person. It's not like everyone needs to make a wisdom survival check. It's like the party needs to decide which way to go, and you could base it on the decision of one person.
Yeah.
So I got a +7 to survival. So are you saying that blind sight or not, it doesn't make any
Blind sight would
difference?
not help you in the case of preventing you from getting lost.
Okay. Then I would just save that. then.
Yeah, so
So could Dave? So I think Dave has a +7 too.
Yeah.
Could we just? So could he aid? Could I aid him or he aids
Sure.
me?
yeah,
Sorry,
you could
she-
combine
yeah.
your skills. I mean, he's a ranger, you're a druid.
Survivals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
sure.
you have a favored terrain of desert, either one of you. Well, I mean, that's a ranger
No,
thing anyway.
No, I have forest and mountain,
Yeah, so that won't help you in terms
Oh.
of
grasslands and mountain.
Yeah.
And forest. Yeah. I wasn't planning on going into the desert. Damn it.
What?
well, at the you don't get like to choose a terrain every level either. At the time you last chose, you
Oh, right. Yeah.
So yeah, basically one of you could aid the other, and then that person would basically make the survival check and get advantage from that. Then
Oh. Starting at 8th level, moving through non-magical difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. But that's just me.
yeah, you actually would not be.
Yeah.
That you basically would be at half movement because again, it's the wind that would also be slowing you down. So
Right.
but the terrain
Yeah,
itself,
yeah.
from all the debris and blowing dust and
Yeah.
everything, that would not count as difficult terrain for you specifically. Let's see.
All right.
So, yeah, you don't need to expend a druid shape to be a scorpion. That really wouldn't help you much. The
Right.
group's speed. If you wanted to just basically rely on the giants, you don't even need like a sled or toboggan. I mean, they could just, they could carry on their backs. They're hardy enough. That's just again, your movement is going to be a quarter speed, so you're still dealing with the 1/4 movement speed. But that would certainly work. I'd say, yeah, you wouldn't need any other special preparations unless you wanted to bolster your saving throws in some way.
I can't do that. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, there's a cantrip called resistance, but I don't think that. While we make the save, would that work?
Skill ends, so you're gonna D4 and add. Sure. Yeah, that would absolutely work.
Okay, well then I can do that on
And
everybody.
definitely the bardic inspiration. Somebody mentioned that. That would work.
I can use that.
Anything else
Okay.
that you have that would bolster a normal saving throw certainly would help. Or, some abilities could just grant you bonuses to random die rolls too. Anything you got that you can use.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
So if you guys proceed then into the storm, it's just as bad as you thought it would be. I guess then it's just a matter of keeping your wits about you. Let's see.
Our wits about us.
Bear with me here. D&D Beyond's interface is sometimes really shitty. To try and do a search specifically. Looking for the getting lost rule. That's not working either. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's just. All right, so I'm going to do the survival check basically once an hour, at the same time as everyone makes the con checks and everything. So, okay, so the end of the first hour, you guys basically proceed a mile. So you're, 1/5 of the way to the center, presuming you've going the right way. So everyone needs to make a con save and a dex save.
So everybody would get a D4 added to that, right? If I can do resistance on each of them.
Yeah, it's
The
a cantrip,
cantrip.
so you
Right.
could do one
Right.
willing creature, and it's concentration, so it's the thing. Yeah, I have to think here how this would work, because it's not like you hold off necessarily on. This is like an abstraction. I'm just trying to think of these concepts. It's not like an instantaneous effect that you're saving against. It's like a cumulative thing. Yeah,
So if everybody's making the same thing throw at the same time, I can do one person.
right, exactly. I'm trying to think how this abstraction would work, whether this resistance. You know what? I'm just going to say screw it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Just simplify it. I don't want to bog it down. So everyone, go ahead and roll.
Sure.
Roll. You can
You want us to
choose.
go
You
one-
can
one at
choose.
a time?
You can. You need to make. You can make a D4 roll. Actually, Paul, you can make the D4 roll to determine how much of a bonus.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we all work off of that.
Right. So each of you needs to make a con save and a dex save, and you can choose one of the two to add that bonus to.
Okay.
Ooh.
Chip
Dex.
Oof.
God damn.
Hey, remember you do have your
Jesus.
inspiration too that you could use, but I don't know if you want to use that yet.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna use one on my Dex.
Same here.
All right. So the DC you're looking to hit is 16.
Oh, geez.
Oof. Well, I'm pretty well fooked on the deck save.
Okay. So if
I
you
think all of us are screwed on one of them.
if you failed the
I
if you failed the con save, you will take this much in slashing damage.
Ow.
Slash.
Oh,
Roll the
Three?
Stuff.
Okay.
Take it off temporary
Yeah.
points. Don't forget.
Right.
yeah. I'll just take it off of that.
It
for now.
basically it's your damage to your
Not worth
respiratory
spending
system
it.
in your lungs.
Sure.
I got the black
Yeah,
lung
did anybody
pop.
roll a natural 1? Ah, Kyle, yes.
Kyle did.
Yes.
You also gain a level of exhaustion, and you need to make another saving throw.
Damn right I do.
Okay.
failed it, but still.
Yes, you failed it. You contract a random disease.
Damn
Uh,
right
I can
do.
fix it.
Yeah.
If you can,
Got COVID.
if somebody can fix it, I'm not even going to bother looking it up then.
What's it? What is it? A lesser restoration?
Well, don't
Lesser restoration?
fix it yet.
Yeah, because it'll.
Wait till the end.
Right.
Okay. Don't fix it now. Okay.
Well, I don't think lesser restoration gets rid of disease.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's like
It
paralysis
gets
and
rid of
stuff.
exhaustion.
Right.
Let's see.
Wait, no. I've got. I can do heal. I could use the big guns, the big antibiotic on him. if I
Well, then
had
that
to.
I would wait on, then,
Yeah.
right? Because we can make 3 more
You
saves.
basically catch sight rot. It's an infection in your eyes, and your eyes basically start bleeding.
Oh God.
Ew.
Jesus.
Gross.
If anyone wants to make a knowledge or a survival check, not a knowledge, a wisdom survival
I
check.
will. I'm good at those. 14?
Groot, actually, you
Groot knows.
Wait, is that a disease?
yes, sight
So
rot.
I could just
Sight-
get rid of it.
Sight rot.
Yeah. I can just heal it off myself, right?
How so? Oh, lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration.
Let's see.
One
Because it's
disease.
considered
Yeah.
a disease.
Oh,
Yep.
one disease.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, don't worry about it.
Did you? Is that a cantrip for you?
No,
Kyle, or is that a
but I have
spell?
3 casts of it. Like, plus.
Well, I've got my staff that I can
Oh.
spend a charge, so you can save your spell slot.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, well,
then don't
that's
worry
even
about it.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
get rid of it.
So, yeah, Valdry touches you with his special stick, and you
Yes,
stop
my
bleeding from your
steak.
eyeballs.
Perfect.
Steak and a
Steak.
jalapeno.
You're,
Uh,
any
Like
additional
exhaustion.
eyes bleeding from your eyes is probably just due to Serendial's being a little bit over promiscuous this session for some reason. Okay, so that's hour 1. Now we need to Mirror to make it, or whoever to make the survival check. And again, if you're working together, you can do it with advantage.
What? Damn.
Damn.
Okay, so the 26 advantage means you are not lost.
Hey.
Hour 2, you proceed again. Paul, roll d4.
You gotta do this for 5 hours?
Or until you get the others out the other
Jesus.
side. All right, so you
Or
get
in the middle, right?
a bonus of
Oh.
1. Well, I'm assuming you're
Damn.
proceeding towards what you perceive to be the middle. If you want to do something
Yes.
else, change direction, let me know.
No. Oh,
Oh.
Dex is better that time. And con. Woo!
All right, again, DC, you're shooting for a 16.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, so
Valdry is good.
I'm gonna take some damage again.
I failed the deck.
okay, so I'm sorry, did anyone fail the dex last time?
Oh, I did.
All right, so yeah, there was a separate
did.
condition. You're blind.
Yeah. Oh, everyone that failed the dex is blind
Yes.
too? Well, okay. So,
You're-
all right, so who all failed the dex last time? I did.
I did.
So 3?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I poke myself with the stick, so I'm unblinded. Okay. And then I hit Groot. And then I hit Serendial. And unblind them.
Cool.
Okay, so that was from the first hour. Now the second hour,
Right.
Yeah.
we get some more failures.
Yeah.
I will.
I can't use
I guess I'll use my inspiration to pass. You said 16 for
right.
both.
And then plus the one
I'll
from your,
pass the sec-
D4.
Either way, I passed the Constitution, but I failed the dex.
Okay, so you're
I failed.
you-
Con. Yeah.
if you fail the con, you take 3 points more slashing damage.
Yeah.
if you doesn't look like anyone got a natural 1 this time. For the Dex, again, you're blind.
That's Groot.
Anybody who failed the
No,
Dex save.
he used his inspiration. He said,
No, he used his inspiration
Okay.
for his con save, I thought.
"Oh Jesus."
No, I used it for
Oh,
my
okay.
dexterity. I made
Gotcha.
the con.
All right, sir. Then if you use your inspiration, you are not blind.
So everyone's good.
Yep.
Nope.
Then survival
Move along.
advantage for
All right.
mile number 3. Ooh, no problem. Mira knows exactly which direction to go. You walk for another hour, and once more, Paul with the D4.
Damn.
This is not getting
Jesus.
this is not getting
No.
tiresome at all.
No.
No.
Con and Dex saves.
Oh damn.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see how Con
Pretty
does. Oh. Gross.
Okay, con damage is
Feel
7
bold.
slashing, and Dex is the same. Basically, I guess we went another hour. Are you guys just basically being led blind then, if you didn't heal yourself?
So all right. So who all failed on the Dex? Who's blind besides me?
Not me this time.
Is it just
Nobody?
me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, all right. I will unblind myself.
Okay.
I'll blow a lesser restoration and unblind myself.
How many charges do you got left on that staff?
Oh, that no charges in the staff. I'm using my second level
Oh,
spell.
gotcha. Okay. All right, for
This is a giant waste of resources there. That's
Yeah.
what that's going to
Yeah.
be.
Almost there.
yeah, the Giants are fortunately been making their saves so far. Oh, well, actually, one of them failed amazingly their con save. He got a natural
Wow.
1, so he needs to save. Okay, he didn't get a disease though. All right, so survival advantage.
All right. Yeah.
You are going in a random direction this time.
Wait, don't you have a bardic inspiration? I thought I gave you one.
Okay. Let me roll that. 10?
Shoot, I don't even know what it's at nowadays.
I think it.
Thought
I
it was.
think it's 10.
It's either 10 or 12 at this point.
And let me know. I'll roll it.
Let's see. Yeah, it is a 10.
17?
Yes, that's enough. You are not lost.
Yay!
Mira
gonna give you
briefly
another
thinks you should
bardic.
go that way, but then Serendial says, "You're going the wrong way." And Mira's
got
like, "Oh yeah,
another
you're right.
bardic inspiration
It's
now.
actually this way."
Okay, perfect.
All right,
Hold
so
on to it.
D4 from Paul.
Could roll another one.
No.
Up and
Okay,
two.
two.
And then
Come
Con
on,
deck.
Con.
God!
Oh
Fucking
my god.
Oh,
Fine.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
What a
Oh,
time
that's
to
not
roll
too
a
bad.
natural frickin' 1.
Good job.
Well, I'll make
you
the
go.
con save, but I fail miserably the dex.
Okay. Well, the
Yeah,
deck
you-
save it doesn't matter. Unlike the con, there's no like critical. You're blind no matter what.
Ah.
It's not like you're more blind. So that was the one.
I'm blind too.
Oh, just hang on to somebody till we get to the middle.
Okay.
Okay. So then, if you're going to proceed blind,
Yeah. I'll just grab onto somebody.
okay. Then mirror. Oh wow.
No!
Okay.
Wow.
You find the exact path you need, and you lead the group out of the dust, and
Oh.
finally
Yay. Hey.
you see the air clears before you, and you can see that you're
And there's
basically
a blue dragon right in front of us.
no. What you
Pure
see,
lightning.
you're in the middle of a great big donut, essentially. Of you
Sure.
can see this massive
got it.
storm just swirling around, and overhead too. So it's just like it's very very dim,
Right.
very dark. I mean, there's a little bit of light that comes through, but if you guys didn't have dark vision, you'd basically be kind of SOL in a lot of ways.
Right. Did the Giants
Actually,
have
no,
that?
they don't have dark vision. It's basically the equivalent of dim lit. I don't think that actually affects your combat ability. Now that I think about it,
Right.
so you can navigate and see. It's just basically like imagine a really dark thunderstorm. The quality of the light,
Sure.
it's like that.
Right.
But
Kyle, you can unblind Groot.
oh yeah, I guess
Alright,
the
I'll do
the blind people
myself.
don't
Yeah.
see this or anything else.
I'll use one of my lesser restorations. Yep, you're good.
And what you see once you get your sight back is in basically this wide open area in the center, probably about 500 feet from you. This center is not very wide. It's probably totally maybe 1,500 feet totally in diameter. So it's a fairly small compared to
Yeah.
the distance you traveled. But at the center of
Right.
this, you do see what looks to be an enormous amphitheater rising from the sand, which looks to be like just bleached and scoured from this storm. You can see that it's dotted with all of these what look like little statues. Again, it's harder to see from this distance, but there are all these statues covering this ruins of the amphitheater. And
Those are those gargoyles.
as you're standing there watching, you also spot these kind of wooden contraptions on some of the sides of this open amphitheater. And you hear like faintly over the roar of the storm around you, you hear what sounds like a mechanical noise of some sort, like a
Like flying.
and this
Yeah,
enormous
we're gonna start
stone
getting bombarded.
starts flying at you and lands in the sand
Mhm.
nearby. So we're at 9:30 for tonight. Do you guys want to start a combat session, or do we want to pick this up at the next session?
Let's pick it up later.
Okay.
I think this is a good spot.
Okay.
Yes, good spot. Yeah.
It was kind of a grueling thing to
agree.
get through the storm, but now you're actually going to enter combat. And as I guess I should
Dun,
say
Dun,
as
dun,
well,
dun.
flying out of the storm on either side of you, you do see two adult blue dragons.
Oh, sure. Sure.
I disbelieve.
2?
They're kids.
Well,
Yeah,
he
why
said
not?
adult.
Kids.
Oh. Yeah, we can handle adult blue dragons.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're not even going to
Yeah,
break a
but,
sweat.
you know,
Of course.
when mom shows up, then we're in trouble.
Yeah. And basically what Hecaton, like he looks around, looks at you guys, looks at the dragons, and then at the amphitheater, and he's like, run! And that's where we'll leave it.
Okay.
Start with the
I
dash.
make a
Basically next
policy
time,
not to
yeah.
disagree with a giant.
Oh, you're going to disagree with him?
No, I said I'd make a policy not to disagree.
Not
Oh,
to.
yes. Wiser policy.
Okay, sir.
Cool.
I'll run.
All right.
All right, so we will pick it up next time
See
on
you guys.
Tuesday.
All
We've rescheduled for Tuesday the 15th, and we'll just proceed from there. Dave, let us know if anything changes, but
Yep.
we'll keep our
Will
fingers
do.
crossed and pick this up in a couple of weeks.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck
Sounds
on
good.
your move.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
All
Take
right.
care, guys. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you, gang.
Bye.
Bye.